So I'm Justin G8YTZ. This is the DVB-S digital ATV transmitter. The system is essentially boards from srsystems.de. The left one being the DVB-S modulator, the right hand here being the MPEG-2 coder. You can see the white, red and yellow plugs being left and right audio and video, and the other silvery plug there is S-video for S-video input. And you can see the RF output on the SMA connector there, and obviously the power connector. Power is transferred from the modulator through the transport stream connector. That's that multi-way ribbon cable there, as well as obviously the transport stream from the MPEG coder to the modulator. And in the front here there's a control board, which makes it a bit easier than using a RS-232 on the PC. It's currently on air. The power amplifier, I'll show you quickly, is from DG0VE. It's a MOSFET PA. Produces, believe it or not, about 90 watts single tone, and certainly performing well adequately and linear enough for 60 watts on 70 centimeters. And if you look at the power meter down here, we can see we're currently just above 60 watts forward power, and it's going into a create log periodic right now. So not a fantastic amount of gain from a log, but nevertheless, very nice SWR, very flat SWR curve on this antenna. However, that's why I've got enormous feeder loss. Anyhow, I know I haven't got enormous feeder loss. So this is the transmitter front panel. The case I've had designed ready for this particular piece of work, and as you can see, it's quite a nice job. The screw heads are going to be countersunk, and there'll be screen printing on the front and rear panels for the completed model, which I hope to have at the Kempton Rally next week. We're in April 2012 right now. So this is the radio. If if I come out of that, you can just see it's showing that we're currently on there. And I'll drive around the menus and just show you very quickly. So if I go into the menu option, I'm going to start with the modulation category, and you can see we're on air right now, and we're on 437 megahertz. This actually, the oscillator in this, the synthesizer, goes all the way from 70 megahertz to 2200 megahertz. If you fancy a bit of digital telly on 70 megahertz, well, I'm sure it's done somewhere in the world. There used to be telly on there, of course, the old band one, but it's probably a little unsociable. Anyhow, moving on, we can see normal spectrum as opposed to reverse spectrum there on that selector. We're not going carrier only. I can go into carrier only for single tone tests, and it's a good idea of where you're driving your amplifier. And the next category is the gain. That's the RF gain on the output, so I can alter the gain, go up and down to make sure I'm not driving the amplifier too hard for reasonable linearity. And that's the symbol rate. You can set the symbol rate right down to 1 meg, and I can't remember what it goes up to, something like the 27 meg or something like that, so rather too much for the amateur bands, but nevertheless 2 meg is the standard most people use in the UK. And moving on, 3/4 error correction is a good compromise. That means about 3/4 of the 2 meg symbols per second is available actually for carrier, for transport stream. The rest of the bandwidth obviously been used for error correction, forward error correction. And if I go, I'll drop down to show a couple of other features. On the video, very quickly go into there. You can see that I'm on the CVBS input, the composite PAL. I can select PAL, NTSC, etc. The resolution standard, I'm going for D1, and the various other, I won't go through it all, but modes. And bitrate alter. Okay, so if I go into audio, for example, you can see line level, mono stereo selection. I've gone for quite a low audio rate, 32k sample and 128 kilobits bit rate. I say it's low, it's quite high compared with DAB and what some of the stations are running right now. So there are various other settings as well. If we look at the program service indicator tables, You can see I've got G8YTZ Digital Amateur TV set there as a network name, and the program provider is Justin G8YTZ, and you can see the program name for this particular stream is, or the multiplex is G8YTZ TV. Now, when I get to doing the repeater, I hope to have a couple of streams and different inputs for different streams, so two people simultaneously could use the repeater. That's the idea anyway. So I have a couple of multiplexes on the stream, and the PSI tables, sorry, the PID table settings are interesting. Obviously these have got to be unique on the receivers, so I've got the video set to 110, the audio set to 111, and the PMT PID set to 112. And I have to change them and go on different bands, so my receiver can pick it all up because the receiver's locked. Anyway, that's a quick brief overview of the transmitter. The cases will be ready in about a week's time, ready for the Kempton Rally in 2012. That's April 2012. And I'm going to bring some cases up there, and they're going to be priced at £99. Quite a lot of design work went into these, so and the final job should look very neat as well. Okay, all the best. Look forward to hearing from anyone. If you want to email me, it's g8ytz@btinternet.com. That's g8ytz@btinternet.com.